I want to talk to you a little bit about the global strategy. This is very important in the context of the world that we live in today. Everything is global. This is globalization. My fingers are intertwined. These are the threads that bind our economies together. If you look at our relationship with China, the United States politically diametrically opposed. You have a communist country and you have a republic, a democracy. You have diametrically opposed, but each one of them carries a very capitalistic economic system as opposed to the political system. The threads binding their economies. So what is it that we need to be thinking about? We need to be thinking about our global strategy. What is it, number one, that is most important when we're asking questions, when you're sitting at the table, at the boardroom table or in a meeting, and you're looking at the future 5, 10 years out, even 2 years out, right? What is it that you're going to be thinking about most? I'm going to tell you it's research and development. Research and development gives us innovation. In previous classes, we have talked about killing your own products. Killing your own products means that you have to be developing new ones. Markets change. Markets change. Attitudes change. And you constantly need to be improving your image because image changes. R&D is most important. Start your strategy always knowing and always thinking about research and development or innovation, ideation, creation. Number two, we must be international to take advantage of emerging markets. Let me give you an example. Coca-Cola. 20% of their sales are domestic here in the United States. The rest are outside of the country. Look at, let's take something like a homegrown made product from beginning to end like Jack Daniels. Jack Daniels, the whiskey. I'm not promoting you drink it. I'm just saying Jack Daniels, the whiskey. 40% of its sales are here in the United States. The rest are global. Are you positioned? Are we positioned strategically in our mindset to take advantage of emerging markets? This means that we have to have a high cultural IQ, right? This is all about empathy. Empathy, not to be confused with sympathy. Empathy is essentially you standing in somebody else's shoes, right? You don't have to sympathize, but empathize, understand where they're coming from. This will allow you to create messages specifically targeting the psychographics of the demographics, right? That's what we're talking about. With a high cultural IQ, you know how they think. If you know how your customer thinks, you can create message that elicit an emotional response. And let's be real, most everything that we buy is emotional, right? Everything. I mean, even the necessities that we need to live. Water. Some of you are only buying and only drinking. You will not drink out of your faucet, even though it's completely fine outside of, say, Flint, Michigan, right? You are all drinking purified water, right? You're all drinking purified water. This is all about understanding your marketing strategy. Your cultural IQ is very, very important. Having a high cultural IQ specifically. Are we playing the scale game or the channel game? In our world, as a small enterprise, being more innovative, flexible, high degree of movement, we are playing the channel game. The channel game. Everyone believes that in order for you to make money, you need to be in the scale game. That's not true. That's not true. That's a penny profit game. The scale game is a penny profit game. It's a lot of volume, which means you're going to be spending a lot more time working. You're going to have a lot more labor, a lot more overhead, and a lot more raw materials. Our three primary expenses, right? Cost of goods sold, overhead, and labor. We're playing the channel game, meaning that we are fishing in a very specific stream, right? We are fishing in a very specific stream. We are not trying to fish in the Pacific, right? And we're not trying to boil the ocean either, right? We are wanting to channel our resources, our marketing dollars, our emotional and our cultural IQ specifically to a demographic that we know and we understand. This is important. This is very important. When you're asking questions, it's all about asking the right questions. Are we in the channel game or are we in the scale game? So imagine yourself quickly sitting around a table. The majority of the people that you're going to be sitting with are going to be thinking about scale, volume, volume, volume. Everyone is our customer. Everyone is our customer, and it's a numbers game. How many of you have had a manager that has said that? Everyone's our customer, and it's a numbers game. The more you're on the phone or the more you're interacting with customers, the more. No, 100% wrong. 100% wrong. This is a real strategy class. It's not everyone is our customer. You're wasting money. I could go out on the internet today and get 1 million followers in the Philippines, right? But that doesn't mean that they're going to convert, that not one of them is going to convert. This is akin to having someone with the bright idea of putting a flyer on every car in the mall. That's the scale game. That's just wrong. It's just wrong. How many of you, when you walk out of the mall and you see the flyer to some rave or some, I don't even know what, how many of you have actually said, oh, wow, I love this flyer, I'm going to use it, or do you stick it on the car next to you? That's probably not the thing to do. You should recycle that. But nonetheless, you don't use it. Why? Because those people think that if we can get just 1 or 2% of the 10,000 people that are going to the mall today, then we're going to be in business and we're going to make up so much money. That's so amateur. It's such a novice thought. Such a novice thought. And it's a very, very fragile tactic. It'll dissipate with the wind, right? No, we're in the channel game. We're in the channel game. We are targeting specific demographics and, more importantly, the psychographics of the demographics. Number 4, labor tells you nothing. I want to know about quality. You see, as a small enterprise, that's where we compete. Quality, performance, right? Speed, service. These are the things that our customers want from us. If you want a mass market product without any service, go to a vending machine, right? You wonder why bricks and mortar is going out of business. It's not because of the internet. I've got news for you. It's not because of Amazon. It's because they are selling all things to all people. They're trying to sell everyone the same types of shoes, the same types of. There's a lady in Nashville. She makes leather jackets. Now, as a side hobby of mine, I like to work with leather, and I like to make certain things. I'm not really that terribly good at it, to tell you the truth, but I like it, and it's fun making some bracelets or handbags and belts. I mean, I spend more money than if I would have just bought it, right? But there's a lady in Nashville She's got her own store, and she makes leather jackets. She charges minimum $4,000 per jacket. She can't keep up with demand. Why? Because she's got quality, performance. In terms of speed, customization, she will measure you out and she'll have it done within a month. She has the service, right? She has the service. And you might think, oh, I would never pay $4,000. That's right, because this is a channel game. She's not trying to get everyone to buy her jackets. She's going after people that have a certain disposition for custom-made leather coats, jackets, parkas, whatever, right? Labor tells you nothing. Quality is what's important, right? She could outsource this to probably another emerging market, but that doesn't mean she's going to have the quality. Doesn't mean she's going to have the service either. You lose a lot of control. And there is a number 5. Number 5, and this is critically important to your global strategy. And I want you to never forget this. Vertical integration. And we've spoken about this briefly. I want you to build the team competencies and capabilities from the ground up. Outsource as little as possible. Not in the sense of, I'm not talking about your political views in terms of, oh, we're outsourcing. No. I am talking about control and controlling the value chain, right? The value chain are all of the activities. Remember the mining company, from mining the diamonds from out of the ground to actually polishing them, cutting them, and then retail selling them, right? You control the whole value chain. Vertical innovation gives you control over things like quality, speed, right? These two together, are what you're going to be charging for. And it's going to be premium pricing. Try to vertically integrate. Bring as much in-house under your roof as possible. And we talked about what you outsource and what you don't outsource in the last couple of classes. This is very important. You understand vertical integration gives you the bandwidth and the infrastructure to execute quality and speed to provide the best pricing premium for your products and services in the marketplace. I'm Senor Chavez, and now we're cooking with gas.